what I would have actually been enduring. But I was definitely not a no show. I'm here at Inova, and I've already, the podiatrist on the 4th. Soon as I came in that day, I had emergency surgery, like I specified when I called to you guys. Like, I did not think this was something that could wait. I know you might not have had the availability, but I just have to inform you that when I came in on the 4th, it was so bad that they amputated one toe on the 4th, and then on the 6th, they finished the surgery and amputated the second toe, and I've been here since the 4th. Like I said, when I called you guys on the 1st, I needed to really see. I mean, when I called y'all on the 2nd, I was hoping I was going to get immediate results because obviously that's what I had needed. If I'm telling you the things I'm telling you, and I'm in the hospital bed at the Inova right now. So please don't mark me as a no-show where you charging me and I'm already at
We
an
don't charge,
Inova.
sir. Unfortunately, I can't change that, but we don't charge.
Well, if you could just notate, like, if thank you for not charging, but please don't say I was a no-show. What happened was I could not wait to your appointment date. Had I waited to your appointment date, it would have definitely been more than 2 toes amputated. So I had to take things in my own hands on the 4th and come in. I couldn't wait 5 more days. The 5th day, like if I at 11 o'clock today, I'm being discharged, going to inpatient therapy because, as I told you, I've had 2 toes amputated. I wish I would have been able to, get an immediate appointment, but that's neither here nor there. I think more so when I was here at the emergency room on the 1st, I should have been treated a little bit differently, where I could have got service then instead of being sent home, and then you guys, not having availability to the ninth. Because as you see, we at the ninth today, and obviously, if I had waited to the ninth, I'd definitely been in a worse situation. So, I asked to be on the waiting list, and um, there was no other availability. So if you can update the doctor and let them know that I do have a podiatrist, because of course I had a podiatrist that was my surgeon, and that podiatrist is now going to treat me and work with me going forward. So it's not the fact that I was a no-show. I'm already at the hospital with one of her other fellow teammates as my podiatrist because they had immediate availability in the emergency room on July 4th.
Alrighty, is there anything else I can assist you with, sir?
I just want to know, like, is there any emergency protocol that you guys have, or all you can do is just set up appointments? And this is just the
What
no.
do you
What do I what?
What do you mean? An emergency protocol?
Like, the other day I came from the emergency room, and the emergency room just gave me you guys as a referral. So I call you when your office is open, and I express to you, hey, I just come from the emergency room. This is an emergency. Like, there's no emergency protocol where it's like, well, go to this intensive place right now instead of just setting an appointment for a week.
No, because we're not a nurse. So usually our emergencies, we don't really have like emergency slots. It's whatever we have well, we have urgents, but that's more so for like fractures. But when it comes down to like pain and stuff, it's just like whatever is like the next availability. But even then, like we're just been so booked out even for fractures. So, but if you're speaking of like, oh, I mean, yeah, if your pain is and like if you're having really bad pain, yeah, we would enforce you to like if you can't wait for the next availability, and if there's, you would just go to the urgent care or ER, but there's nothing else that we can do.
All right. Well, so what I'm saying is, I just came from the ER, so like the ER directed to
Yeah, but
me.
it goes the same way. It goes the same way.
All right. So I did the right thing by just going back to the ER and getting service.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically. Well, I mean, regardless of what they did, but yes, if you were in so much pain that you still couldn't wait for the appointment, and we just didn't have anything else sooner,
But what I'm saying is, when I
yeah,
called, I was in that state. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I'm asking the like, cause there, I wasn't suggested to, hey, just go back to the emergency room. Like, I was told, hey, we can give you a Wednesday appointment. So it's not an emergency protocol if somebody tell you, hey, I'm in great pain, and you just say, well, hell with
no,
making this
we
appointment
just
with me.
schedule whatever soonest appointment. We can't like squeeze in patients
I'm
because, like
not.
I said, we've been
That's
really booked.
you
We don't
being
have emergency slots.
All right, you don't have emergency slots, and you don't have emergency directives. So if somebody call you guys, regardless of what they say to you, you just schedule the earliest appointment instead of telling the people go to the emergency room again.
Because we're not nurses, we're schedulers. So that's what
I
I'm
get it. I
saying.
get
Like,
it. I get it. So I think because I'm just trying to find where the fix can be in the future, because like I said, in this case, I'm I'm two toes lost because of this miscommunications. You know what I mean? I came early and I was told to just sit at home and let it get worse. Like, I can't make this up. I definitely called, and if based off of the bacterias and things that I had going on, like specifically, what I mean, like when me calling, like you say, y'all schedules, you're not nurses, so that is the definition. I think definitely that nurses should be taking those calls, because in my case, when I called and I told you the pain I was in, instead of setting an appointment with you guys, were like, just go back to the hospital and say we can't, or you know what I mean, like I would, but you
I mean,
said
we're
you
not
just
going to decline your appointment. We're not going to decline you just to set you straight. We're going to give you the next availability. So, yeah, that is the correct way for us to schedule. And we gave you the soonest. We still put you on a wait list. I mean, I don't know what else I can say, sir. I mean, if you wanted to speak to my supervisor, I can transfer you to my supervisor. But there's nothing else that I can say.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind talking to your supervisor about it, because
Okay.
all I'm trying to do is help improve protocol, because obviously the best practices ain't in play if somebody calls you in time and then I have to be the one to make the determination to not listen to what you guys are saying so I can save myself. If like when I call you, I'm calling medical teams. Not I don't think I'm calling schedulers. So when I'm listening to the schedulers, all they trying to do is just give me an appointment instead of directing me to the help I need. And if I'm calling anybody at Nova, I'm assuming that they got help for me. So yes, please let me speak to a supervisor.
All right, give me 1 second.
Thank you for holding. An Innova team member will be with you momentarily. We want to make your experience as seamless as possible. While you wait, please gather the patient's date of birth, cell phone number, email address, and insurance information, including the name of the plan, group identification number, and policy number. We'll be with you shortly. We're proud that Innova has been recognized as 2025 Health System of the Year by Press Ganey, a national leader in healthcare experience, recognizing our excellence in patient care, team member engagement, and commitment to continuous improvement. Learn more about Innova by visiting our website, www.innova.org. Should I go to the ER, urgent care, or primary care? When you're sick or hurt, find out what kind of care is best for you. Visit inova.org/getcare. Did you know you can log on to MyChart, your patient portal, to schedule or cancel an appointment, request a medication refill, review test results, pay your bill, or send a message to your care team? Log into MyChart today or visit inova.org/MyChart to sign up for an account. If you're in need of an X-ray, simply take your required order to the nearest Inova Imaging Center for immediate assistance. You don't need to schedule an appointment if you have an X-ray order. For a list of locations, visit inova.org/imaging. Did you know you can now use Innova's digital assistant to connect you to the right team? Use it to confirm or cancel appointments, find hours and directions, medical refill requests, request a text about your call.
Well, if nothing else, we can figure out ways to make it
We
better
are
for
proud
folks,
that once
because
again, Innova has been recognized as the region's leading
there
health
has to
system.
be protocols
U.S.
in
News
place
and World
that
Report
help improve the system, so others don't have to go through it the way I had to. 'Cause I truly came on the first.
Supervisor here in the call center.
Hello,
Hi, is this Mr. Coleman?
this is Corey Coleman. How you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. One thing I just was asking your representative is you have an emergency protocol, because like me personally, I went to the emergency room on the 1st, and the emergency staff had given me instructions to call one of your specialists, and they gave me a podiatrist to, go and see. And when I called in, I told them directly that I was in great pain, and I was, the reason I went to the emergency room is I needed an immediate solution. But of course, they gave me an appointment, which was for today, and that was the 2nd. So they gave me an appointment that was for the 9th. Now, in the process, on the 4th, the pain had just gotten so, it had gotten to a point where regardless of what appointment you guys set for me, I had just came right back to the ER. But the thing that I'm asking is, why is it that you guys don't have a protocol where when I call you and I say, hey, I'm in pain, don't you just say something simple like, well, just go back to the ER? And I think they explained to me, because he was like, well, we're schedulers, not nurses. I would think that when somebody's calling medical numbers with Inova, we're thinking everybody is medical professionals. So when I'm told the 9th after I say that I'm in pain right now, then, like I said, I would think they should at least give the suggestion, like, well, instead of making an appointment with us, if you're in that much pain, just go back to the ER. I'm not calling really with a question. I'm calling with suggestions of how y'all can improve your system. Because you set an appointment for me for a week later. If I had waited, I would be in a devastating circumstance right now.
Okay. I do apologize. I would have have to listen to the call from the agent that initially
Well,
scheduled your
that is
appointment?
exactly what I'm requesting. I want you to listen
Okay.
to what I said. I want you to give me a review. You got my email address because it's on my iKnow file. But I just want my case specifically to be reviewed where you kind of give me some feedback and know should I have worded something differently when I told you that I needed immediate care when I called on the second, because I did at least continue speaking to make sure that I was continue speaking to make sure that I was put on the waiting list, and I was put on that waiting list. But like I said, there was really, if I tell you or if I suggest to you that I'm in immediate pain right now, I would hope that instead of you trying to schedule an appointment with me, you just say simply, go back to the ER, talk to somebody else, and if that's not part of the protocol now, I'm at least suggesting that becomes part of the protocol, even if it's a scheduler. A nurse doesn't have to know that when they hear emergency or hear great pain to tell people to go to the ER.
Absolutely, definitely. And it is standard practice that we do tell patients that if you're unhappy with the soonest available appointment, you can always go to the emergency room.
Well, all I want you to do is listen to my call and that exact statement that you say, that protocol was that followed in my instance. If you can listen to the call and tell me if it was or wasn't, I would greatly appreciate it. But I know that I don't recall that, so if you could listen to that recording and have that recording available, I would be greatly appreciative. And like I said, you have my email. I'm Corey Coleman. I would definitely like a follow up on that because, like I said, there's nothing we can do about it now, but we definitely can approve the process. Because if somebody called, because just so you know, the byproduct of what happened with that is I came in on the 4th of July. On the 4th of July, they ended up having to amputate one of my toes. I feel like if I had been treated on the 1st, I don't think it would have got that bad because it wasn't that bad when I came in on the 1st. Or, the 2nd when I called you guys. So I'm just, I would just hope that my circumstance could improve the process because I definitely don't want what happened to me to be able to happen to anybody else.
Absolutely. I totally understand.
All right, and that's all. As a human being, that's all I want. I want you to understand I'm not blaming anybody. I just hope that because there's thousands of people going through it. I've already been through it, so pretty much as they say, it is what it is. But let's make sure that it is improving. And let's make sure that if somebody tell you they're in great pain, don't even schedule an appointment. Tell them to go to the ER. You know what I mean? And I don't think that was the case in my case. I had to be the one smart enough to just say, hey, my pain's increasing. Hell with that appointment. I'm going to the ER. So today, this is the time I would have been at the appointment. And if I'd have prolonged this long, I'm scared to think about what the outcomes would have been. So I'm now at the point where transportation is here to pick me up, and I will be going to the inpatient rehabilitation. So instead of me just getting checked out today, I've already gotten infectious diseases doctors and podiatrists to help me. I've had 2 toes amputated, and now I'm going to, learn to walk again on this foot. So, I don't think, it's anything unclear about what we're saying and where we're coming from. If you could please review it. My conversation specifically when I called in on the 2nd and made my request an appointment, I'd appreciate it.
Yes, sir, will do, and I'll definitely follow up with you.
And your name, ma'am?
My name is Shanice.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. And you do have my email address, right?
I do have your email. We don't send communications to personal emails. It would either be via my chart or I can give you a call with a follow-up.
Well, no. I'd rather it be through my chart. That way I have, like I can just go right on my chart, and then the doctors can see it right on my chart as well.
Okay, no problem.
You have a wonderful and blessed day.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello. Hello. Transportation ready to get me. I just had to make sure we got that straight. I'm ready to go to part 2. Put on my shoe. Hallelujah.